0 of Simplifying Live. With me, Shashank Nigam, your host and the CEO of Simplifying. Imagine traveling long haul as a family with two little kids, like I do. It's kind of hard to keep them engaged, it's kind of hard to keep them entertained, it's kind of hard to keep them quiet. We've all been there, either sitting next to a crying kid or traveling as a family with young kids ourselves. June has come up with a solution, a unique solution they would like to think. Whether it is, we will discuss. June, if you may recall, is Air France's subsidiary. They position themselves as the millennial focused airline, and they fly to places like Mumbai, Quito in Ecuador, St. Martin is starting soon. Basically, long haul destinations that Air France possibly could not make a lot of money on or is focused on leisure travel. They fly A340 planes. These aircraft have now been fitted with seats in the economy class section in the center four-row side of things, where the headrest can come off the seat and it gets fixed on the seat itself. So you basically get a longer version and you put them all together. You can actually sleep on it, or at least the kid can sleep on it. How June is marketing this is for families who want to travel in a bit more comfort. They can reserve these seats for their kids at €20 per seat. So this is a bit like the seat selection fee. You just pay for the Cozy Joon seats where the headrest detaches and it fits into the front of the seat to make it a nice, cozy seat. I think that product innovation is quite smart. They just detach the headrest and it goes in. It's very simple. You don't need a new seat. You don't need to develop a new product. It's very simple. That's what I like about it, the simplicity of it. I also like the fact that it's quite cheap to book this. €20 is probably what you would pay on most long haul airlines to book a seat anyway. Though it's €20 per kid or per seat. So if you have got two kids, and one parent, it's €60. If you've got two parents and two kids, that's €80. So that's what you're looking to pay. I think that's quite smart. But at the same time, they've also added a way for others to sit away from the seats. Guess what? If you want to avoid noisy kids and you want to be in the back, you got to pay €30. That's right. The fee for sitting away from these seats is actually more than the fee for choosing these seats. Also, these seats are free for Air France top tier frequent flyers and Flying Blue members. So it's a perk for frequent flyers when traveling with families, potentially redeeming miles. It's something that they want to drive ancillary revenues from. The thing is, this needs to be looked at in perspective. And I will bring the perspective from Air New Zealand. It is an airline that I covered in detail in Soar, my book. And in there, we've actually discussed at length with Kerry Reynolds, who I believe led the development of the Air New Zealand Sky Couch. Now, this is the seat. Air New Zealand introduced the Sky Couch in 2010. It's called the Cuddle class for obvious reasons, where the footrest comes full flat. And on most of the long haul flights, you can, on the 787 and the 777, you can book these seats and sleep flat on the three seats. What's interesting is there is some pretty interesting marketing, by the way. This is Rico and this is David Hasselhoff sitting on the Sky Couch. And this seat flew not just to Los Angeles and other long haul destinations, but even between London and Los Angeles. What's interesting about this, though, is firstly, it had a very long product development cycle. In fact, Air New Zealand worked with Ideal, one of the most world-renowned companies when it comes to product design, to develop this bespoke seat for Air New Zealand. Air New Zealand has a patent on it and has licensed the seat since then to China Airlines of Taiwan, which calls it something different, but it is the same product, which they have been selling on the new 777 to long haul destinations. There were two critical things that were different about about the Air New Zealand seat. One was they did not charge it as a seat selection fee of $20 or $30 because most of Air New Zealand's flights are long haul. You actually had to pay a significant amount to get this, sometimes up to $1,000 or even more to get the Sky Couch and get a seat in there. So two people would pay for half of an additional seat, and that's how it typically worked based on how far you were flying. The other very important aspect of this was that this the Sky Couch was always on the outboard seat, never in the center aisle. But because June seems to be flying the 340s, which are reconfigured, they have put them in the center one. I personally think that this may pose a safety hazard because I remember being briefed by Air New Zealand that they had to really think about safety. For example, no one's heads could be towards the aisle. All their heads need to be had to be towards the window. In Air France and June's case specifically, guess what? Legs will be on one side and the heads will be on another side. Credit to June, they have an additional belt that goes around the kids. They require parents to sit. But I think Air New Zealand went just a step further in ensuring safety. The other little detail that is there is, as you probably can see in the image that I was showing, let me pull it back up again. There you go. As you can see, the rest, the handrest, the armrest between the seats come back up fully. They are flush with the seats. That makes for a very comfortable bed because there's nothing hitting your back. Unfortunately, in June, the armrests are not flush. They're sort of sticking out. So yes, you've got the mattress pad and the blanket and the headrest that's now attached to the seat. Unfortunately, your back might still hurt and your child might hurt himself or herself because of the armrests that are coming out that are not flush with the seat. So I do think this probably can be further refined. Maybe it was quick to market and it was simple to implement, which is, as I said, what I like about it. But I think the implementation could have been improved a bit in view of safety as well as comfort level if you really are getting people to pay more to select a particular product. I look forward to seeing whether June makes more money from people wanting to sit away from these seats or from people who want to travel on these seats with their kids. A neat innovation, nevertheless, and I'm looking forward to hearing your comments on what you think Cozy June will do for June. Will they make a lot of money? Will it be popular? Will it be not? I'd love to hear your thoughts on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube. Meanwhile, you guys have a fantastic day, and I will catch you tomorrow. Till then, have a great one. Bye bye.